Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm doing a new kind of system reading here. It's quite a long reading, and I just did Megan's, and now I'm doing Harry's. And I think you will be fascinated how they are the same but different, much different. All right, so just to explain again, so I have their astrological, I have their natal, and that's when you were born. That's written in stone. That never changes. But what changes is the transits, how the planets go around your zodiac watch. Remember, I said it was just like a watch, right? And and it's constantly moving, except it moves counterclockwise, so it's constantly moving. So as these planets go around, that changes different aspects of your life, just like 6 a.m. is completely different than 6 p.m., right? Um, March 1st is completely different than November 1st. So it changes the weather, you could say, of your life. So for Harry, what I found interesting about Harry's chart is that he has all his planets on one side and they're all in the dark, right? So you think it goes around counterclockwise. Generally, the first house would be morning. No, that's not right. Okay, I'm not going to speak of that. I haven't learned that quite properly yet. Uh, but this, all I know is that the bottom half here is dark and autumn, and we go summer, autumn, dark. Anyways, I meant delete. Anyways, let's get to it. But I find that interesting that all his transits are on one side here in pretty much in the dark part of his chart. Okay, so he has nothing in the first house, which is a Capricorn. In the second house, he has, which is an Aquarius house, he has, so Aquarius is star, Judgment, which is Pluto, and it's in the first decan, so it's the 5 of Swords. And you're gonna say, well, that's just like Meghan'S, but it's in the second house, and the second house has more to do with your origin story, not particularly your mom or your dad, but your origin story. It has more to do with money, the way you vocalize, the way you speak. And if, like Pluto running through here is very, very slow. And if you've noticed, since Pluto has come into his second house, look at all the speeches he's been doing ever since Invictus. And he's even doing those other speeches. So he's now getting a second chance to say what he wants to say, right? Read it totally different from what Meghan and her bullying part of it. He gets now to say his peace of mind. He's getting a second chance, and it's really healing for him. And I think that his second chances are a lot to do with his visa, perhaps, because we are in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the general society, the healing with that. So that could be a second chance, and he feels like he won that. But because it's in Taurus, I'm getting that with the 5 of Swords here, because remember, swords are words, that he's finally feeling he gets to speak. He gets, it's his turn to talk. And he's also feeling that he doesn't care what people hear, what he has to say. He doesn't. He's going to talk and talk and talk. I think we're going to see him do a lot of that while this configuration is in his second house. And it's going to be very healing for him that he gets this second chance to talk. You know, does this mean, because this Taurus, the second house can also be your origin. I'm wondering if he's going to give a second chance to the UK. I wonder if we're going to see him in the UK. I forgot to mention we're doing a 1 month prediction because the sun changes every month. So you can do this on the first of the month. You can do this when your zodiac changes. You can do this with moon cycles and give it generally a cycle like that. And I'm doing it because it's the first of the month, plus it's a moon. So I think we might see him in the UK, and especially if he goes to see the Spencer family. He might do that in March. All right, so the next house that's activated is his third house. And the sun is in this is Pisces. His third house is Pisces. And the sun is, so we've got Pisces, the moon. We got the sun in there. We've got Saturn in there. We have Mercury in there. We have Neptune in there. We have the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups in there. Now, the third house is siblings. And I don't think he's a writer, so I don't think we have to worry about him writing anything. I still don't think he wrote the book, but that's here nor there. I think the spotlight is going to be on him and William. There's something going on there that something will end. Something definitely, and again, the sun and the moon are there, and we have the 2 eclipses going on, and we have an endings here. I think these eclipses are going to really affect Harry with his family. Here's the communication again. I think we're going to see him speak more, louder, and more. He's starting to really see things from a different point of view. I think I think the truth will set him free. Especially when it's in the third house of Gemini. It's when you have of 2 minds. So I think we're going to see him communicate a little bit differently. I think we're going to see him, there's going to be some kind of smugness here and some kind of, I think this is fascinating because, they both have this, but for different reasons. I think Meghan'S she always has wished to make money off those prince and princesses, right? And yet something is here about Harry wanting to be home with his family. And I keep reading that he really misses his family. He really wants to be home. I think something is going to end with this. I think, is it ending or is it beginning with this eclipse coming up? I think the veil will be burnt off of what's going on, and I think we're going to see him communicate more. I think that's his wish, for him to have a voice, and I think it's a wish for him to get to his family. I forgot to introduce his main card, and his main card is 10 of Pentacles, which is legacy, family wealth, success, money. And believe it or not, he's the Queen of Swords. And that goes back to the ancient. So if you look at his birthday, September 15th, it's right here at the Queen of Swords. September 15th, Queen of Swords. Is that because it's so close to Libra? I'm not sure. But this tells me that he will definitely be, I think he's a pretty cold person. I think that I don't know how to say this. I'm just going to say it. I think that he is all about the money. We all say that Meghan is, but I think he is. I think he's all about, where's my fair share? Look at him. Where's my fair share of this money? Where's my fair share of the legacy? Where's my fair share? I think that's something that he is constantly after. And as much as he says, oh, just call me Harry, he's the Queen of Swords. He loves formality. Absolutely loves formality. I think that also, this also is the divorce card too. So this either could be divorcing his family of origin, or it could be eventually divorcing. But when they divorce, for Harry, it'll be more about the money than the children. Mark my words. It'll be more about the money than the children. He'll be running back to daddy. Absolutely. All right. So let's go to the next house, which is his fourth house, which is home and mother. And there we have Aries, we have Venus, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Three of Wands, which is patience and whatnot. I think that, because that would be his dad, and that would be his mom, and there's some kind of secret, and is he waiting for the time to drop that secret? That's in his fourth house. So his mom and his dad are in his fourth house right now, transiting. And there's some kind of secret that perhaps he's waiting to expose, or perhaps he's being really patient with it. But he definitely has something under wraps about his mom and dad, and possibly the house he grew up in. And I think this is also, he's forever looking for that mom and dad feeling again. I think that he'll never find it. He's constantly looking for, where's mom and dad in his home? And right now, it's very active, very, very active. And I think he just wants to go home. I really do. I think he just wants to go home. He wants to go home, and he doesn't really express that very well. Or there could be secrets going on behind the scenes to get him home. But he just wants to go home. He's constantly looking across the pond, and he more so than he lets anybody know. But he misses his home. So see how much different that is than Meghan's, even though they're the same cards. So then we go to the fifth house, and the fifth house is actually ruled by Taurus in his chart, but the fifth house is Leo, and that is children and gambling and all kinds of fun things. And so we have Taurus in the fifth house, and you know what that is? Now it represents the palace. Here's the Fool. This is Uranus, and the Seven of Pentacles, because Uranus is in the third decan. All right. So I think he's been now married for 7 years, or gone. No, he's only been gone for 5. God, it feels like 100. I think that he is really working on getting back to the royal family, because Leo is the royal family. And here's the palace. Here he is coming back, Harry the Fool. And I think he's working hard at getting back into the royal family, not only as a royal family member, as a working royal family member. Remember, this is his fifth house. This is Leo. That's all he knows. That's all he's been trained to do. I think that's where he thinks his long-term security is. And he may realize he's been played a fool too. But yeah, he wants back into that royal family so bad. Like he can't see any other way out. So let's see, his next house that's activated is his seventh house, and that's actually his marriage house. And we have Mars in Cancer. Oh, how did that? I got that mixed up. Oh no, that's right. His next house is his sixth house. Sorry, his sixth house, where he has Jupiter in Gemini, and that Jupiter is in the decan with the 3 of Cups. Now, This is telling me, now your sixth house is your health and your pets and your work versus career. This is work you have to do. But I think this has more to do with his health. I think we might see him in the month of March lose control. Perhaps we might see him, drunk, or he's out celebrating and he slips and falls. I don't know why I want to say we might see him in March with some kind of broken bone. I don't know why I want to say that, because Gemini doesn't have anything to do with bones, because I've grabbed the wrong pile. Oh my Lord, I'm so sorry. We are under, you should see where my Neptune is in my chart. I couldn't figure out why I'm mixing things up, and I'm so foggy, and yeah, it's because where my Neptune is. I better edit that out. Anyways, we have Jupiter in Gemini. That's why I was thinking bones, because I was seeing these swords. I knew I had the wrong house. So we have Jupiter is in Gemini, and we have the swords here. And swords are also air, and there's a real chance here that he may have some kind of lung problems. Yeah, like maybe he gets a bad cold, or like a bronchitis or something like that. It'll pass quickly, but don't be surprised if we hear something like that, like he ends up with a cough or something, or a cold. But I think that is because also Jupiter is air. Like, you think you have to expand your lungs, like Jupiter's expansion, and swords are lungs or mental capacity. But I'm getting, because this is on water, like a bronchitis or a cough that's very productive. Don't be surprised if we hear something like that, that he has some kind of cold or something, but it'll pass by the time the end of the month comes. Yeah, Jupiter. If you have Jupiter, Jupiter is in Gemini. Everybody has Jupiter in Gemini, but if it's in your sixth house, that's if you're a Capricorn rising, you may have troubles with your lungs this month. So, and also, you think about it, it's allergy season for a lot of people. Spring comes and it's allergy season. A lot of people, start to have breathing problems due to allergies. All right, let's get to the final one, all talked out. And that is the seventh house, which is your relationships. And he has Mars in Cancer. We all have Mars in Cancer. But I'm telling you right now, he is not having any kind of sex whatsoever. Not when males have Mars in Cancer in the seventh house, the relationships with other people, with whoever that he wants to have sex with, it just isn't happening. I'm telling you that right now. I still think we're going to see something of him out and about, perhaps a little bit drunk or partying with the wrong people. It's going to create a kind of a sensation. He's going to be with the wrong people, and it's going to create a bit of a sensation. And I almost wonder if that's why Meghan has on her first house, because this is his last house that is activated, and on her first house that is activated is she's going to be betrayed by a friend. So I'm wondering if Harry's going to be caught with his friend. You see how that connects? You see how that connects? So I think something is definitely going to happen there, especially with him having his divorce card. Interesting, these weren't activated as much as Meghan's were activated, because he has nothing in his Virgo house transiting right now. Okay. And yeah. He's going to be the type, when he gets divorced, it's going to be all about the money. He's he's actually demanding that his family of origin provide him. That's why he wants to get back to the royal family. That's all he knows is money from the family. All right. So see how it's different, but it's the same, but it's different. Well, what do you think of these readings? Do you think they're fun? Do you think I should continue on and do William and Catherine, and let's see what their next 30 days are going to be? Because they are quite long readings, and I don't mind doing them, but I'll only do them if you really want to hear of them. All right. Well, YouTube's going to show you a video that you may not have seen before. Why don't you give that a click? And we'll see you over there. Thank you for spending this time with me. Hope you enjoyed it.